told was much more consistent with that Cassie told, that he threw her and that she ended up hitting the bed frame. So we'll see how this ends up holding up on cross. She does not seem to have the same level of confidence that Deontay had. So, and I expect the cross to be somewhat aggressive, and that Brian Steele is supposed to be doing the cross-examination. We'll see how that goes. Terrible person.
All right.
U.S. versus Sean Combs, day 12, morning update. There is a Palestinian protest over there, so my apologies. Essentially, Deontay was questioned about testimony that he gave when it came to Cassie's eye gash, the incident where he jumped on Diddy's back, and then the other friend, who was Mia, jumped on Diddy's back as well. He had testified that Diddy kept kicking and beating Cassie after she hit her eye and it was bleeding everywhere. And Donaldson pointed out that in all of his meetings with the government and, showed him all these transcripts, he never said that about the incident. He never said that Diddy continued to beat her after she was bleeding. He also pointed out something else that was never told to the government. He said that, it was on Cassie's 29th birthday, and Deontay had testified that after they went to dinner and a karaoke bar, that, at one point in the karaoke bar, he saw Diddy's finger in Cassie's face up close, and that Diddy had planned this surprise party for Cassie, and that he wanted her to do an FO after. And Deontay testified that he overheard Diddy say, I do so much for you, you can't do this one thing for me. And Donaldson pointed out and said, hey, you never said anything to the government in your many, many meetings. And he listed all the meetings about the finger pointing and about the you never do anything for me. And Deontay's response, by the way, to all of this was, I only said what I was asked. And again, he made it clear that he didn't really want to be there anyway. So I can imagine that he was just very short with a lot of his responses. He also brought up the fact that well after he stopped styling Diddy and after Cassie and Diddy broke up in 2018, and Deontay's very close to Cassie, that he continued to text him. There was one text where he said, I love you, brother, happy birthday, and another text where he was asking him how he gets an invite to one of his parties. And then Deontay said that, that was for one of my friends. But it got a little, even the judge was kind of smiling at one point, but then he kind of got annoyed. But Donaldson was building up to something. It was South Africa, basically when Cassie was said to be dating Michael B. Jordan. He was, leading up to the part where Cassie was dating Michael B. Jordan. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Deontay Nash just goes, Mr. Donaldson, I know what you're getting at here. And yes, I'm the one that hooked Cassie up with Michael B. Jordan. And he basically said, because, Diddy was off with Gina at this music festival, and apparently somebody, and I this was hard for me to understand, but maybe you can read it in another outlet, but this is what I gathered from it. A text message was sent to either Deontay or Cassie of Diddy and Gina at this music festival because somebody thought that it was Cassie. So Cassie sees this and she's like very embarrassed. Deontay had said like Cassie would get embarrassed about this stuff because she thought it made her look bad when Diddy was out and about with these girls, especially Gina. So, Deontay and Cassie were just like, all right, F it, let's forget this guy, let's go out, let's do something. And he made the introduction to Michael B. Jordan and then said actually that Mia pushed it through because she was the one that made sure Cassie had Michael B. Jordan's phone number. But he kept kind of jumping ahead, and yeah, it was funny for a minute, and then the judge was like, okay, stop. And at one point they were talking about Cassie's 29th birthday and how Cassie, that Diddy was drunk and Cassie was very high, and Donaldson said, did you get her very high? And Deontay goes, excuse me? It was quite a moment. So that was pretty much the extent of his cross. I do want to add something else, and you know what? I'll actually say this at the end when I'm done starting with Mia. So and because I was tying together what I think that Donaldson was doing yesterday with some of his cross, but anyway, let me just start with Mia. Now, we know now why the jury was asked during jury selection about Mike Myers. Sorry. Oh my gosh, sorry.
I love her enthusiasm. She's so excited to tell us what the hell going on. I like her.
Hold that thought, Lauren. Okay, let me go back. It was revealed that Cassie was once dating someone in the NBA named Brandon. They didn't have a last name. And also, she was dating someone, we got the NFL name. That NFL name was Andre Branch. Am I supposed to know that? Because I don't. But yeah, that's who she was dating. Okay, so back to Mia. Her direct testimony started using a pseudonym. We can't describe her at all, but, she definitely was looking down. It was kind of hard to hear her. She's a little bit soft-spoken. But Mike Myers, this is why his name was brought up during jury selection, because she was formerly his assistant before she started working for Sean Combs. And she described her hours with Mike Myers as being from like 10 to 6. Occasionally she would get a call on the weekend to walk his dog or do something at 7. But when she got to Bad Boy working for Diddy, she was very shocked. She said that her first day of work, she was sent from the office to go to his Alpine, New Jersey house to do like some inventory. And she finished when it was kind of dark. She went back to the office in Manhattan. She stayed at the office till 10 p.m. And then someone told her that he wanted her at the studio. So then she went to Diddy's studio at 10 p.m. and she did not leave until 1 p.m. the next day. So she didn't sleep at all. And she said that she really chalked that up to just her being on like a trial as his assistant and being new. But then she talked about another time where she did not sleep for 5 days straight. And she said that she used time-released Adderall to help her get through this, But eventually she said that her body broke down and her equilibrium was off. She got, blurred vision, and she finally just started crying uncontrollably, and he sent her home to sleep. So let me see what else. I mean, we didn't get into too many specifics. There's maybe two incidents that we spoke about. And one of them was she corroborated the eye gash story, which we've actually heard 3 times now. Once from Deontay Nash, once from Cassie, and now once from Mia. And they all are a little bit different because, the human memory is not perfect, but they all kind of establish the same thing, that Cassie was thrown and by Diddy and her eye was gashed. We also heard about I think I discussed this during Cassie's testimony about a Prince party that they went to, Mia and Cassie. Mia was told to keep Cassie away from Sean Combs' house in LA for whatever reason. I guess Diddy said that he was with his kids, but maybe Mia knew otherwise. And they were supposed to stay at a hotel and not go out. Mia was supposed to keep tabs on her, which she said she did a lot. But she also testified that her and Cassie are very close and they're still like sisters to this day. Anyway, she talks about hearing about this Prince party, her and Cassie, and they kind of like are discussing this like at the hotel. Should we sneak out, like 2 teenagers? They decide to sneak out. And they go to the party. They describe Prince performing on a table. They're dancing on, purple plexiglass, having the best time. And Mia sees Diddy walk in with like this bucket hat on, and they lock eyes. And she said she was like, they booked it.
Chat, you know what they saying word in the streets are, right? They said if you thought a Diddy freak off or something, you ever heard about the Prince? I ain't gonna lie. If Prince ain't die, that nigga would have been in.
So Cassie and her started running out the door. She said Diddy.
Them purple rain freak offs? Holy. Who said stop it? Who said stop it? Niggas just thought Diddy was gay. There's been loud ass rumors about Prince's crib and what happens when you go to Prince's house. I'm not saying something that's non-consensual. We're just hearing about wild parties that would be consistent with freak off activity. 100%. That's a fact. That's a fact.
He caught up with them, tackled Cassie. He was going to beat.
We're not saying the nigga was sex trafficking. We're just saying that, Prince's house, Jamie used to have parties too, right? Like, Prince's parties, so we have puff parties. Now, remember, you have the parties and then you got freak offs, right? So it's like, all right, everybody come to the party and then a couple of people go fuck, right? That's the fucking is the freak off. Prince's parties, I've heard that they've rivaled Diddy. Like, Diddy is grandiose. From what I heard, we got Prince's parties, we got Diddy parties, and we got Jamie's parties. Jamie parties down here, but Jamie parties still lit. Now, do they have freak offs at those parties?
Her, but security stepped in and stopped him. And Mia describes being suspended by HR the next day without pay for being insubordinate. And
there's a few people who wrote some memoirs or whatever about their time at Prince's, and I think a lot of people are under NDA. They said Prince lived in a different galaxy. They said Prince used to stay at his house most of the time, but in his house, it was basically like up is down and down is up. Meaning that whatever was happening in the real world, Prince had a different world going on. Just take from that whatever you want to take it as. Meaning when you're in Prince's house, it doesn't matter what state you're in, that you're in the U.S., you're just at Prince's house. He curated a place that everything that he was into went down at his place. So you don't go to his house and start doing, we don't, no. That's what many people have said. Now, you could take anything from that, but his estate was the estate that when you go there, it's 5 times Vegas, which means, you know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You're going to this nigga's house, and by you going there, you know you got to be down with whatever you see or know to ignore it.
She talked about being Diddy's only assistant at one point, and she eventually worked her way up to be director of marketing.
Wait, why are y'all acting like it's the first time y'all... Like, bro, you know you can just Google this shit, right? Like, didn't y'all never heard the thing about how Prince rented out some nigga's house and fucking redecorated the whole thing? Look, Prince, like, are y'all kidding me? Nigga, Prince made Diddy look like a choir boy. Prince rented my house. Look, it was Carlos Boozer. Look, you never heard this?
In 2005, I just signed with Utah Jazz, and I was looking for a house to live in LA. I came across this massive estate that was in Bel Air, had about 10, 12 bedrooms. I wanted to buy it, so I did. My season was about to start up in Utah, so I'm flying back out to Utah, and my agent, she's hitting me up about all these people that want to rent my house out, and I'm saying no. And she said, listen, this one client really wants to rent your house out for the year, and he'll give you 95 grand a month. And I was like, 95 grand a month? Like, is that a typo? Is that an error? So that convinced me. So I fly back to LA to sign the paperwork on a day off, and you won't believe who it was. Prince. You know, When Doves Cry, Purple Rain. You know, he's one of the godfathers of music, and I can't believe it's Prince because I'm obviously a huge fan. We come up with an agreement, and I go back to Utah. A few months later, I tear my hamstring, and I'm like, man, I got to go get some rehab. So I fly back to LA, and I hit up P, and I said, P, I'm about to come by the house. Just check it out. If you need anything, let me know. I go to the street where my house is at, and I pull up, and I go to what I think is the property, and I'm like, this is my house, so I know I haven't spent much time here, but this don't look like my house. So I type in the passcode to the gate, and it opens up right away. So as I'm driving up the long driveway to my house, there was this big purple rug that was going from the motor court area all the way up to the front door. And I'm like, what the is going on? I walk in the house. Let me just tell you what he did. Took all of my furniture out, everything that I put in the house. He took the carpet out, put in some black carpet in some areas, put purple carpet in some other areas. He put his picture everywhere. I mean, there's a picture of Prince in every room. He turned my weight room into a nightclub. Literally had a DJ booth. Wicked. He turned one of my guest rooms into a hair salon. Another room next to that, he made into a massage parlor. He had a purple heart-shaped mirror that was in the bathroom as well. I'm really upset because this was not part of the agreement that you can change around the crib, make alterations to it. So I'm trying to get a hold of him, call him, I'm calling him, I'm not getting a hold of him. My lawyer's like, if you want to sue him, we can file the paperwork today. And who do you really want to sue Prince? Nobody really wants to sue Prince. And so out of nowhere, I get a call like at 3 in the morning, and it's P, and he goes, hey, Booz, listen, I'm so sorry, I've been on tour, I'm in Asia. Don't worry about anything. When I move out, when the lease is over and I move out, the house will look like I was never there. As he moves out and I come check the property to make sure everything is cool, nothing's broken, it was like he was never there. I think he wanted the house to feel like his every time he stepped in it. That's why he wanted to spend.
There's mad Prince stories. You know, his later life, he just stayed at his house. He never went nowhere. Like, Prince was on some wild shit, bro. I'm telling you.
Now are hanging out with celebrities that don't hang out with anybody else, like Prince. You hang out with Prince now.
Yeah.
So what's he like when you're there?
He's cool because he found out I was there. He just trying to get my attention. He was like, ooh. Hey, what's that noise? He was like, ooh, ooh. So I turned around and I was like, hey, Prince, how you? He's small, so I was like, hey, Prince, how you?
Now are hanging out with celebrities.
All right, come on. Yeah, this mad stories. I ain't trying to make this a Prince thing.
Prince turned to Sheila and said, this isn't my party anymore. Inside, she described a nightmare, suggestive performances, substances passed around.
Yes. Prince parties, people just getting fucked as art. Like, I don't know what y'all must either be young or y'all just, it's my job to be just into entertainment shit. Prince parties used to be some wild shit. You go in there and there's just like, you know, sometimes they'll have somebody naked with food on them or something. There's just somebody just fucking. But it's not even like fucking for fucking. It's like it's art. Just fucking. That's the art right there. Okay, they're just fucking the entire time. Yes. Nigga, Prince just had to, you got to realize, when you get to that point of money and shit like that, you just create your own reality. And that's why the nigga would never leave his house. He created a world. In his world and his parties, art was fucking. Okay, they're just fucking right there. Yes. Look.
Around like candy, people disappearing behind closed doors, and Prince, he was watching from the sidelines, visibly disturbed. There was even a private section, only a select few allowed in. Prince whispered to her, that's where the real party is. Sheila didn't go in, but the next morning,
why they got Diddy's face on this?
Prince was done. He looked her dead in the eye and said, that was the last time I let him into my home. Something dark came in with him, and
oh, you talking about Prince?
Who now are hanging out? Prince who now?
You want to get Prince with celebrities who attended these parties have mixed.
Most of this shit's about Diddy, but yo, Prince. Just type in Prince parties and go
the
listen
blackest
to other people saying.
Madison Square Garden when
someone.
no, it's from the Madison Square. Boom, opened up. Magic is happening. Just people just all over the place, and I walk to a back room and it's Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornel West, and Prince fucking just huddled up in a corner, just rapping.
That's
and
right.
I walk in, they all look up and was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "What's up?"
Right, right.
I felt like
Chat, just go look it up, man. Just go look it up. A lot of these.
That cat. In several sit-downs, he claimed Prince told him directly Diddy and Jay-Z, they were part of something bad.
Okay, all right, there's some other shit.
We threw a Grammy party one year, and Prince and Stevie Wonder showed up to the party. Now, so mind you, my assistant comes to me and like, yo, Prince and Stevie Wonder is at the door, and I'm like, did you let them in? I came to ask you. If you don't let them in, what the hell is you doing? Yes, let them in. So they come in. Prince is sitting on one side of me. Stevie Wonder sitting on the other side.
Okay, but that's not
I did one album with Mace.
Anyway, if you go down that rabbit hole, you're gonna hear a lot of things. A lot of things. You know, Prince was one of them sexually fluid niggas, so you know. Anyway, a lot of drugs too. Anyway.
I believe at Revolt TV or Revolt Film. I'm sorry, not TV, film. It was separate than Revolt TV, and it was really just her working on this. She said she took the brunt a lot for other assistants just not being very good at their job or forgetting stuff. But let me see. I think, we're going to get into a lot more detail about things that happened. She had also described that Diddy once threw her into a pool, shoved her, and also said that he sexually assaulted her. And by the way, I have never seen him shake his head like this during a testimony. He shook his head twice during her testimony. Once was when she said he sexually assaulted her, and the other time was during the eye gash story. She said, Mia, that he purposely like threw her off and she hit her head, Cassie, and he was like, he shook his head. Also, I saw him turn around and blow his mom a kiss, and I was able to read his lips. He said, "How you doing, mommy?" But what I wanted to point out earlier about what I think that Xavier Donaldson was doing, and I also heard this during Direct today, was he pointed out that security helped Cassie kind of escape through like a side entrance of a hotel to escape Diddy. And also we heard that security jumped in to help Cassie at another point. And I think they're trying to say, like, if it's Rico here and he's controlling his employees for this criminal enterprise, why would they help Cassie? But anyway, more later. There's going to be a lot.
Okay. Let me hit long.
The Sean Diddy
call, and then we're back on it. It should be right here.
Every time you hear travel, they're not just putting that in there, just to put it in there. It's important to these particular elements of these crimes that
doesn't look at the defense table. She just walks past the gallery. Her family and her support system go right after her, and then she goes over into a private room. But just as far as just some of the testimony that she had talked about today, she did describe that Diddy did take violence out on her too. Mia described that Diddy would throw things at her. He would throw her against the wall. One time he even slammed her arm into a door and then even sexually assaulted her more than once.
They're going to have to get into the sexual assault.
And let's just wait for this siren to go down. Very, very busy street. This is somebody we had anticipated, right? Because she's important for multiple reasons. She's important not only to corroborate what Cassie Ventura has said, but if you're talking about a pattern of abuse towards women, put aside the sex trafficking count for, I hear playback in my ear, by the way, putting aside the sex trafficking count for Cassandra Ventura, what we're also talking about is the racketeering charge. And we just got word that Prosecutor Madison Smizer said her direct examination is likely going to take the rest of the day. What do you anticipate she's going to say, Elizabeth, from what we've heard so far?
Well, I definitely think they're going to get into more of just the violence that Mia had witnessed while working for Diddy, but also being Cassie's best friend, a role that she still has to this day. The two are really close friends, something that Deontay Nash even confirmed while he was testifying. But yes, the direct examination is expected to last throughout the day. Even right before I came out to chat with you, Jesse, there was a little kind of angst, I would say, from the defense because essentially the government is saying that Mia has to be off the stand by the weekend. So tomorrow is Friday, so they're hoping that they're able to finish her direct examination today, go over to the cross tomorrow. But the problem is that sometimes the cross examinations do take maybe twice as long as the direct testimony, and it's been a kind of a sticking point that a lot of us have been kind of noticing, especially just sitting in the gallery. But Mark Agnifilo kind of took a little bit of offense to just being given a time frame as far as how long this cross-examination goes. And the thing is, Jesse, he's not going to even be the one doing the cross-examination. It's actually going to be Brian Steele doing the cross-examination against Mia, or for Mia, I should say. But the defense was pretty upset about it because they felt like the government was telegraphing the time frame for witnesses, especially since the government said that Mia needed to be off the stand. But from the government's point of view, they're essentially saying this is all for logistics purposes. If we're expecting Mia to not be off the stand by the weekend, then we have to pause our flight scheduling and all of that for the next witnesses that are going to be following up after her. But it seems like from the defense's perspective, they were just really kind of offended just about the time frames that they were given. But the judge kind of pointed out that, the government is doing this, but they're not doing this as a way to kind of slight the defense. They're doing this as kind of a common courtesy for those logistics purposes. And the judge kind of seemed like he took offense to it as well, too, what the defense was telling him. He was saying that it's common courtesy, and that even the judge wanted to know these things as far as how long the direct will last, possibly how long the cross-examination will last. And so it seems like kind of a sticking point where the defense may feel like they are being kind of constrained to a certain time frame. But there's never been a moment so far that the judge was like, okay, you got to wrap up this cross-examination after an hour. You got to wrap this up in 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. So really, they can just have a free go and just really ask all the questions, maybe questions that they didn't need to ask, but will continue to ask because they have to cross-examine their witness.
I got to talk about Deontay Nash. So obviously we'll continue the conversation with Mia, and there's a lot to break down with our panel of guests. Deontay Nash, important witness, celebrity stylist, right? And he had testified that he was, him and Mia, the only people that actually stepped in to actually intervene in Sean Combs allegedly assaulting Cassandra Ventura, talked about the threats that Combs made towards Cassandra Ventura, talked about that she didn't want to be a part of freak-offs. Very, very important witness. But then it was time for cross-examination today. I wasn't entirely sure what the cross was about and what were the points they were making, other than the fact I think he's still not only in touch with Cassie, but maybe even supplied her the wardrobe that she wore in court. And I think he was still maintaining some sort of communicative relationship with Sean Combs only until a few years ago. So it becomes a question if all these things happened to him and Cassie, and he claims he was also attacked by Combs, that this might go to his credibility. But where exactly did the cross-examination go today of Deontay Nash?
The cross-examination, just honestly, quite frankly, was all over the place this morning. It's first thing in the morning. It was just kind of a lot this morning, I should say. Even just starting off, Xavier Donaldson tells Deontay Nash, "Good morning, how are you?" And Deontay Nash still has that sass, which I absolutely love, and he responded, "Blessed." And so just as far as just kind of the incidents that occurred when it came to the violence, they brought up the bed frame incident, and that was something that Mia testified as well today too, where they were explaining that they were all over at Cassie's apartment. It was Deontay, it was Mia, it was Cassie. They were helping her pack for this trip, and then all of a sudden they hear a knock or a banging on the door, and it was Diddy looking for Cassie. And so essentially Diddy kind of picks Cassie up from where she is. He throws her down. He's essentially attacking her in front of her friends, her stylist, but also Mia is still working for Diddy at this point. But essentially, at this point, Mia and Deontay do step in. As far as Deontay is concerned, Deontay jumps on Diddy's back. Diddy throws Deontay to the ground. Then when Deontay's on the ground, Mia jumps on Diddy's back to kind of stop him. Then all of a sudden, Cassie is essentially on the ground because she had hit her head and busted her head open on this really pointy, sharp bed frame. There was blood everywhere. It was something that even Mia testified again to today. But just as far as the responses, is concerned, I should say, that this was just kind of a really big sticking point, I feel like, as far as this particular incident, because it was so violent, because Cassie drew blood in this incident, or not drew blood, but not necessarily, but instead blood was gushing from her head. Mia had to go and get towels, and what ended up happening was a call was made, and essentially Cassie was taken to a plastic surgeon, and they were told that Cassie was drinking during this, and that it wasn't a violent encounter that had happened that had caused this type of nash or gash, I should say, as far as just the blood and the amount of blood that was taken, or the amount of blood, I should say, that just gushed from her head, essentially. And so they but they essentially said that this incident was because Cassie was drinking. She fell down and hit her head. So that was in regards to just the bed frame incident. But yes, Jesse, to your point, it was definitely one of those sticking out moments, especially because you finally see people stepping in, even kind of in a way attacking Diddy for the most part to get him off of Cassie. But even as far as the end of the cross-examination is concerned, yes, Xavier Donaldson was really asking Deontay Nash just about his communications with Diddy in the years even after he stopped working with them professionally. So this was around kind of the 2019 timeframe. We see an exhibit photo of this text message between Deontay and Diddy was upset that Deontay didn't tell him that Cassie was seeing the trainer. And who was the trainer? Well, the trainer is Alex Fine, her now husband, who she just had her third child with. And so Diddy used this text message to kind of ask how Cassie was doing, and I think the defense was kind of pointing out that that Diddy still cared about Cassie even after their relationship, because again, this was 2019. They broke up in 2018. All the D names. Deontay reached out to Diddy about Kim Porter's death and even Andre Harrell's death. Andre Harrell was a central figure in Diddy's life. He was somebody who had mentored him, and you could arguably say that Andre Harrell is kind of the reason that Diddy got to the point where he is as far as success is concerned. Maybe Diddy doesn't think that, but really you could kind of argue that in a way. But then we see another text message kind of going back in time a little bit. This one from January 30th of 2016. And this is where the cross-examination ends, where they were kind of implying that Cassie was secretive. She didn't tell Deontay, who she considers to be a best friend, just about the freak-offs, that he didn't know about these freak-offs until 2013 when they were at just a hotel together they were hanging out together, and Diddy was threatening to release these sexually explicit videos of him, and just how it kind of ties back to Deontay saying, like, girl, let him release these videos because he's on them too. It kind of relates to that. And so they ended the cross-examination where Xavier Donaldson asked, you deeply care for Cassie, and Deontay responded, correct. And she kept major secrets from you. And Deontay Nash, in his Deontay Nash way, was like, well, I keep secrets from her too. We don't have to tell each other everything, which, you know, do best friends have to tell each other every single aspect of their lives? I mean, not necessarily. It's not necessarily holding a secret, but I feel like what the defense...
All right, they're dragging this shit, but let me get through this, and then we're getting back in court for some more tweets. Yo, we got to talk about the boss man D-Lo shit too, bro.
Was trying to point out that this was this big secret, that she wouldn't even tell her closest friends that these types of things even happen.
By the way, before I let you go, Elizabeth, you have Deontay Nash, you have Mia. How is the jury reacting to this testimony?
Well, let me tell you, Jesse, today for Mia's testimony, it was a packed courtroom. And so it was really kind of hard to see because of all the bodies in front of me, just their reaction to everything. But so far, it seems like from what I can see, and that's really kind of the tail end of the jury box, is just that these jurors are doing what they've been doing for the past couple of weeks, is they're taking notes, they're listening. I couldn't see if there was like an emotional reaction, especially as Mia was kind of talking about the bed frame incident, because for Mia's point of view, it seemed like she was very upset recalling this particular piece of testimony. So I couldn't tell if there was an emotional reaction from the jury. And even from Diddy's side over on the defense table, I could barely see his reaction to things. In between heads, sometimes I would see him jotting down notes or shaking his head, that type of thing, especially when it came to Mia flat out saying that Diddy had sexually assaulted her more than once. But as far as just the jury's reaction overall, it's really hard to tell sometimes with them.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have a question that came in on YouTube from L. Spelunker. Is anyone acting shocked by all of this in the courtroom? His mom, his kids, the jurors? Does Diddy make any noises or movements? So you're kind of giving us a perspective on what we should be seeing in that courtroom and what we're expecting. Elizabeth, I know you have to head back in there. Thank you so much, as always, for your great reporting, your great...
Okay, all right. So court is back. And, you know, we took the little break for the Tori stuff. Again, I think Tori... And let me actually finish up this idea or thought on Tori's points. I think Tori has to hire a hugely powerful person. Let me tell you how most of this shit goes, honestly. When Kodak and Wayne got a pardon, it was the same person that made both of those happen. Very powerful, very influential, very politically aligned. Those people work with rappers, but they work, I don't want to just name drop. They work also with politicians. It's a couple of those people. You start realizing who are the players. They keep favors, and then they redeem favors. When you're going to get pardoned, it's not by popular demand. A lot of times pardons are given out when people are on their way out. They're not over here trying to like gain the love of the public. They're over here trying to, yo, good looks on get me elected. You did A, B, and C to get me here. So when I'm getting out, I'm going to repay you with, it's one of them ones. I bet it's a lot of, this ain't, oh, I'm doing this for the goodness of my heart. I'm already telling you that politically it don't line up that Tori going to get a pardon. So I'm watching, I see tremendous public support. I'm not seeing that high power, like, and with all due respect, the Anna Paulina or Anna whatever, she's a rep in Florida. We need somebody big. Pause. We need some significant people to jump on board here and then I'll be like, I think this could happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be dope if Kim K got on. I know you might be like, oh, Kim K's just a celebrity. We got Drake who signed this. Yeah, that's cool, but they're not politically aligned. Kim K has been moving with her Innocence or whatever project she got going on because she's been getting people free or taking off death row. She got some power in that world. You want to align with somebody like that that's also a celebrity, but then you got to align with some other powerful people. That's what I'm seeing missing from Tori's team right now. Because, again, it was good to read all those things, but if you went into reading that whole thread that Tori's team put up on the website, if you thought he was innocent before, you probably just think he's more innocent now. And if you thought he was guilty before, you're probably still not that convinced he's not guilty. You probably just would probably say, maybe there is a reasonable doubt that he did it. But you probably are not completely on his side. I'm going to see how this goes because, again, I feel like we've hit the level of what the hell is going to happen next. Like Tori's team, they're pushing the line. I think more and more people and the public is getting on Tori's side, but how will you leverage that? So I don't know. I'm trying to see. Also, here's the thing too. What I've noticed is that I think Tori, the way how shit is happening, I think Rock Nation done scared pretty much everybody into really being that much gun-ho to try to get Tori out of jail. The reality is, look, Milagro got sued. Now she don't even got no lawyer, supposedly. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, as much as people like Tori and they might think he's been taken advantage of, nobody want to go up against Rock Nation. That's a fact. I don't want to go against Rock Nation. I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? So me, I try to cover it even keel and keep it moving. I'm going to keep it a being with you. And I think Tori's team and his family and father, they gotta try to get some political connects to kind of agree with them. But I do believe the sensitive nature of a woman being allegedly shot or abused by a man, people are unwilling to touch that, even despite some of the evidence that point that he might be convicted, maybe unfairly. Most of the reason they don't want to touch that case, Meg Thee Stallion's still alive, and she is very much still popular. So you go against that, and Alex Spiro comes out and smears your entire political career as a woman shooting domestic abuser defender, you're donezo. You feel what I'm saying? So I think, I feel like I'm seeing the things fall in place of Tori. I just don't know how the picture is going to come together. Do I think that, anything is something? Yes. Do I see the goal? I don't see the goal right now. But I'm here watching. Okay. Next thing, I didn't want to talk on the boss man. Yeah, we got to break up some of this coverage of like this Diddy shit, man. If I'm not like thoroughly entertained, I wonder about y'all. I'm like, maybe y'all not like thoroughly entertained. Why did I go to Diddy's profile? See, subliminal shit. No, Boss Man D-Lo. So Boss Man D-Lo, remember like there was a transgendered individual who claimed Boss Man D-Lo was trying to fuck. Now, Boss Man D-Lo basically, in true gangster rapper fashion, basically said, man, stop playing with me. I'm finna kill one of y'all niggas, okay? And yeah, the person whose name is Timmy Banson has admitted that they lied on Boss Man D-Lo. They actually claimed that the messages they put up claiming it was from Boss Man D-Lo were actually not real. It was AI. It was edited. It was Photoshopped, okay? This is what the person said, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Your Boss Man D-Lo, I don't know if it's the messages that were edited, but if you DM a motherfucker looking like this, Boss Man D-Lo, okay.
I'm coming on TikTok to address the Bossman situation. Bossman D-Lo never messaged me. It was AI. It was edited. It was photoshopped. I did everything good with the video of him texting me because my homegirl, it was my homegirl's phone. he messaged a real female. She's a popular influencer that I hang out with. So I made it seem like he messaged me, but he never really messaged me. And I made a fake thread of me texting myself back. I know it sounds crazy, and I just did all this stuff on the internet for attention, but a bitch was bored. And I thought it was funny, but now I know it's not funny because I'm really fucking with this man's career and his money. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all can.
Yo, Timmy Benson, I'll cut it here. You need to apologize to all people of the transgender community for putting their lives in danger. Let me tell you this. Here's the sad and unfortunate truth. When y'all play around with straight men who really have no business even interacting with someone of your kind, and I say that not disrespectfully, but heterosexual men who want normal women, and when y'all try to insert yourself in the situation, and y'all know exactly what y'all do, because even if, let's say he had messaged you, you put this out to embarrass him, because it's still that taboo of a rapper, a straight rapper, a perceived straight rapper dealing with a transgender. So you put it out to embarrass him, to try to hurt his financial ability, to ostracize him from the hip hop community. The reality about this is, them niggas is ignorant. The dude couldn't even form a proper response to say, this person's lying on me. All he could do is threaten violence. When you do shit like this, it's all fun and games until that nigga shoot one of y'all niggas in the head. That's a fact, and I'm not wishing this happens. But we have to be clear that when we then speak about violence against transgendered or even any individual of the LGBTQ community, we don't condone it. Everybody could be able to live whatever life they want to live. But there are a lot of people who, if they feel their reputation or their livelihood is being taken away because you're lying on them, saying that they're undercover gay or they like transgenders. Now, again, to some people, nobody cares if some people do. To certain rappers who may have grown up that yo, I'm a gangster, that can't be my repertoire, or that person might want to clap one of y'all. And you not only put yourself in danger, Timmy Benson, you absolutely put other transgendered individuals in danger. Let's be very clear. And I told y'all this story. One time a Nicki Minaj little fan person tried to get me caught up, right? They were transgendered. I think I just noticed, I'm like, and I just stopped talking to them. But also, I've seen, like, a friend of mine thought it was a female. I forgot how the person looked. But the person was upfront and said, yo, hey, I'm transgendered. Oh, my friend, I ain't into that. Okay, cool. Both people went their own ways. The reason why transgenders to a certain extent still ain't accepted in, like, you know, just mainstream conversations and shit is because y'all do weird shit like this. Even if the nigga message you, say for whatever reason, he like, I ain't gonna lie, the picture was crazy. I don't know how he could think that's a woman, but whatever. Say that's his flavor. He just like a bald chick that looked like that with no titties and whatever. Okay. But he made a mistake. The mere fact you try to embarrass him, the fact you try to embarrass him is that you know this is seen as something nasty. That's the thing. Put like this, if I out somebody for trying to fuck with me, I am embarrassing them. It's like I know there's something wrong with me. This is what I'm saying to Saucy Santana. When your diss to me is a gay slur, it's like you're telling me, like, it's offensive to be you. You get what I'm saying? So, like, when people like this, like, you just propagate the divide between men who are heterosexual and women or men, whatever y'all call yourselves, transgendered individuals. Because now, again, people don't really want to talk to y'all. Oh, well, if I just treat you like some random normal person, you may flip the story saying I'm trying to fuck. Now, okay, don't even ask me about nothing. Please, don't ask me about nothing. Let's not communicate. You can see how that creates a divide, and that usually going to create hate or bigoted views or ignorance on both sides, right? Then, again, you think you bored. I'm pretty sure Boss Man D-Lo, let's say, who knows, maybe some transgendered individual does hit him up. Bro, the next person he's making an example out of. I guarantee Boss Man D-Lo go to his show and let's say it's transgendered individuals there and said, hey, can I take a picture with you? I love your music. I'm pretty sure he might do something. Because he's like, man, oh, y'all niggas is playing with me now. So this is the dumb shit that I hate that, you know, transgendered individuals or homosexual individuals do while they're also screaming for acceptance. They use any type of association as a shaming tactic to try to hurt people, whether they lie about it or not. And then they wonder why it's seen as so negative to be talking to them, be in cahoots with them, or being them.
Y'all can bash me, y'all can hate me. I really don't give a fuck.
Anyway. Okay. And all right. And you know the funny thing about this, and this is what like social media and TikTok and this bullshit is. I guess people start getting on him and like, yo, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Later, he posts a picture of some money talking about I got hush money. Like, almost in like going back on what he said. Look.
This stuff on.
He later posted a thing making it seem like, oh, I got hush money. Look, I don't know if y'all seen this. There's a post with like, there's a post where like this person is like, bro, I don't even want to like, yo, my algorithm got so many bad bitches on it, but I don't even want to type it in the search bar to like find the pictures to show y'all. I don't even want, yeah, I can't, I got to type this on a burner account. My Instagram too fly. You know Instagram suggests what you be looking at. If Instagram started suggesting me them Transformers, man, come on, man, nigga. Hold on. What's the name? Timmy Banson. I'm trying to find the image. So he posted a picture of him sitting with money and he captioned it "hush money." And I'm like, how corny is this, bro? Oh, it's still on. All right, fuck. Yeah, it's still on his Instagram. Timmy Banson. Okay. Boy. All right. He posted this money and he said hush money. And it's like lame, bro. Like, it's lame. So now it's like you're still playing with the dude. You're playing with him. Actually, you're playing with him worse. Pause. So you say some shit saying he tried to fuck you. Even if, because I was reading that message maybe possibly two ways, but I ain't gonna lie, just off your picture, like no disrespect. Actually, take it how you want. Nigga, you look like a nigga. Like, there's no, you don't look like, you look like a whole nigga, bro. Like, you just, like, I don't even, anyway. There was a way to read a message that maybe Boss Man D-Lo wasn't trying to be offensive. If that was him messaging you, and he was just like, nah, I ain't into that. He ain't really say that though. So I can't even defend him. That's crazy. All right. So that happens. But now you came out, because I could imagine, yo, Boss Man D-Lo feeding a lot of people. And I could imagine some of them people like, man, we got to go do something to this nigga. So they probably start threatening this nigga or whatever. This nigga comes out and says, yo, I capped it. I basically didn't, this is all a lie. All right, cool. It's all a lie. So now you going to say all that shit, right? And then they're getting, TikTok, he probably getting cooked on TikTok. Like, yo, bro, you're hurting the transgender community. You got to stop lying on straight men. Like, this is why we get hurt. They're probably saying all that shit all day in the comments. Then this motherfucker still wants attention, goes on Instagram, posts money and says hush money. Like, come on, bruv. Somebody said Boss Man was probably on the drugs when you texted. Bro, I'm going to just be honest with you, bro. Like, I mean, like, I'm not, like, I know y'all want to believe everybody gay and shit like that, but I'm not believing no transgendered individual who's clearly clout chasing. Because if you really was on some shit like that, you wouldn't be trying to, like, if that's what you're into, you wouldn't be trying to embarrass Boss Man D-Lo when, let's say there's, I don't know, let's say 30% of rappers are download, whatever the fuck they are, right? nobody's gonna fuck with you after, right? So nobody's gonna like. Everybody's looking at you like, wait. So if there was a rapper who likes transgenders, you're going to expose them. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about this bullshit no more, man. But anyway, man, yo, y'all transgenders, could y'all hold y'all niggas accountable, man? Hold this nigga accountable for, number one, putting y'all in danger, and also pretty much causing more hate and vitriol among straight men. Because straight men, when they see shit like this is why, like, a nigga gonna be like, man, one of them niggas play with me. I gotta really violate. Like, man, like, you can't even be courteous. Some people said, boss man down low. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing. All right, anyway. Let's get back to the Diddy case. All right, come on. So they're back. Now, AUSA says we subpoenaed Verizon phone records. Ms. Garagos has agreed that if Your Honor finds them admissible, you could give them to us, and we will give them to them. Garagos says, yes. Judge says, let's get Mia back. So Mia's back. AUSA Smizer says, yo, Mia, you were speaking about violence between Combs and Cassie. Have you traveled ever to Turks and Caicos? She says, yes, to Parrot Key twice in 2012, me, Puff, and Cass. So what happened there? So, well, I was sleeping in my bedroom, then I was woken up. Mia then says Cassie ran in, saying, yo, you got to help me. He going to kill me. AUSA said, what'd you do? Mia says, man, I started pushing furniture in front of the door. I'm trying to block it. Puff was banging, screaming. I had a porch that went out to the beach. We ran. AUSA says, what did you remember about running? I remember being amazed that even while running so fast, we could be attacked by bugs. What? Did you run another time? Yeah. I had another visual on where we were hiding of trying to escape like 2 separate times. It says we got on paddle boards and we went out to the water. Puff was on the beach screaming at us. It was flat. And we went out far. Puff got smaller and smaller on the beach, and the sky got dark. Damn. Yo, Diddy be... Yo, why does... Yo, Puff? This is kind of bitch-made behavior, because it look like Puff don't be running down no nigga like this. He's running down the chicks. They're over here paddle to Cuba. Like, yo, let's paddle. Cassie, come on. Row. Like, come on, let's go. This nigga Diddy on the beach. Damn. Diddy was always chasing him too. Fuck. Objection by Steele. It was overruled. Mia said we went back. AUSA said, did you ever call the cops? Mia says no. So why not? I believe Puff's authority was above the police. This was before social media and Me Too. There was no examples of people standing up. I thought it was under the confidentiality deal with Puff's business. And so what's this? It says a photo of Cassie eating a hot dog at a premiere of her movie, The Perfect Match. She had bruising under her makeup. I took this photo. AUSA says, any other injuries else that were covered up on the red carpet? Says, yes, at the Cannes Film Festival. What did you see? Well, she had a busted lip. She was injured. Said, where were you? But let me look at it. Cannes Film Festival, Cassie. Sorry, I'm fucked up on the spelling. Cannes Fest. That's Met Gala. That's Met Gala. What's this? Oh, okay. It says Diddy. This is 2012. So okay, so you gotta be talking about this. Diddy and his crew. Okay, so this is Cassie. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a being with you, bro. Diddy hated this woman, bro. Like, there's something there. Like, it's like I'm still not saying sex trafficking. Yo, to me, Cassie's hella beautiful. She's hella beautiful. Yo, this nigga was having her doing some dumb shit. Yo, shit, like, bro, look at the type of hairstyle he was. Bro, I get it. You could be like, oh, no, that was style. Nah, nigga, you could tell. He's having niggas nut on her, pee on her. Bro, he's doing everything to reduce this woman's self-worth to zero, bro. Like, there's something up with Diddy, my nigga. I ain't gonna cap with you. I ain't gonna cap with you. Somebody said, oh my God, shut the fuck up, Act. He ain't hate her. Nah, bro, he had to hate her, bro. If you take a beautiful woman start reducing her looks, you're constantly, come on, bro. Like, and when I mean hate her, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But I think he loved her, but he hated her too. Like, if you don't understand that theory, you don't take a beautiful woman and then reduce her in every way possible. You get rid of her self-esteem. You take her innocence. I'm not saying she was innocent before. I'm just saying, you fucking eradicate whatever that's left of it. You take everything, you reduce her to zero. That's a little bit of hate, my nigga. That's a little bit of hate. Like, you think he was just, oh, I just love you? No. He treated her like it was a rug under his fucking feet. She got shades on. Ooh, we're trying to see the lip. Pause. You know what's so crazy? Cassie's going through hell with this nigga. Diddy would just show up, autograph time. Like, just, he's still in star mode. He don't give a fuck.
Hey, Sean, what's up? Good job.
He don't give.
How you doing? Good.
He don't give a
fuck.
fuck.
Here again. Now we know we're gonna have some action. Some real entertainment.
You're gonna have some action, baby. I ain't gonna let you down.
I know that.
I ain't gonna
What up, boy? How you doing?
I ain't gonna let
So we at VIP tonight?
Yeah.
We at VIP tonight. All drinks on me. All drinks on me.
As usual. Tu recules un peu, Fab, donne du champ. Ça. Hop. Merci. All right.
Call your friend. Tell him to bring up
Non, mais travaille avec lui. Travaille avec lui. Je travaille avec lui. Vous énervez pas. Tranquille, il est tranquille.
Restez là, je vais chercher. Ben. Laisse-le juste un peu tomber.
T'inquiète, c'est pas, il est toujours là.
Merci.
Non, mais 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Il est là. Bouge-toi, Fabien. Allez, hop.
Where's Cassie?
Got it. Okay, see.
Oh, was that Cassie in the car on that side?
Okay, see. Allez, hop. Bouge-toi, Fabien. Allez, hop. We got it. Okay, see.
I think Cassie's in the car there. That's why he went on the other side. That's interesting. What's this? Diddy while shopping in Cannes.
I won't call you
Holy shit. I forgot how popular this nigga was.
I won't call you
Wow. Nah, Diddy was the shit, huh? Diddy and Cassie at okay, yeah. This looks like it's a video agency for some Paris shit, or not Paris. I mean Cannes. Ah. Let's see. I thought you'd be with Cassie. No. Oh. Oh, that's her right there. You can't. I ain't gonna lie. That makeup artist was putting in. She was dropping 70. Yo, the makeup artist was dropping 70 for Cassie. Cassie looks good though. You like we never really saw her.
Hello, Pete. You enjoyed the show?
Yes, very much so.
Just a bit late, but you see most of it.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
No, we gotta.
Just one big up for your TV channel, man. I hope it's gonna work. Hey, Cassie, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
How was the show?
It was beautiful.
Beautiful?
I loved it.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
No, it's just...
Yeah, I want to watch their like how they react to each other.
You go first. Oh, you go first.
Yeah, I could tell. She felt so small in his world. Nobody give a fuck about Cassie. Like, I'm gonna be honest. She felt small in his world. And she was probably trying to fit in, but she wanted to please this guy a lot. I'm still not saying, okay, that means she's sex trafficked. You know what I mean? She's still a grown ass woman. But I was just trying to watch her in between ass whippings, right? Like, damn. Is she still kind of emotionally coming off of this type shit? Or no?
Thank you. This way! How's your life so far? Is it good? Yeah. Wow. So what's the feeling?
So the Diddy and Cassie situation has been getting freakier and freakier by the day. The more and more I hear about these allegations, Diddy is a freaky man, the king of the freak-offs. And Cassie, you feel me? She was young, vulnerable. But like what Ak said, she could have left. Like, Diddy was not holding her well. You know, this is what's hard for me. Allegedly, Diddy wasn't holding her hostage, but she said on the video that came out in the hotel where he hit her over and drug her back, she was trying to leave one of the freak-offs. And Diddy said, oh no, you're not going to leave the freak-offs. You got it. Yeah. Wait till the dude, bust a nut, allegedly. Then all over you, then scrape it off, go in the other room and rub it on my nipples. That's what he wanted. It sounds so crazy to say, but that's what Diddy wanted. Like, we seen him in the robe. I thought he was just fresh out the shower, but allegedly he was probably butt naked. I'm surprised there was no baby oil on her or him, or she wiped it off. That's why he was so mad it was no baby oil on. Hey man, I genuinely feel bad for Cassie. I feel bad for her husband too, because he has to be in court and he's listening to all these things. And I don't really think Cassie's lying about anything. Like, Cassie just seems like a nice girl, probably like gentle, innocent, like, and she just wanted a career. Like, man, I'm struggling here because I want to be very, very honest about everything, like my point of view. I don't think Diddy was the best of best people, and I think everything he did to Cassie was wrong, and it was definitely manipulative and all that stuff. But like, is it sex trafficking though? Like, this is what he's charged for. Like, domestic violence, yes. Assault, yes. Like, probably a bunch of other crazy stuff, yes. But sex trafficking, bro, I don't know if you could say he was sex trafficking. But it's only day 2 of the trial. And I'm gonna be very, very unbiased about every single thing I say. It's day 2 of the trial. Diddy is he's there every day. They say that he's looking white as hell, he's gray as hell. He's, you feel me? They said he was looking at Cassie the whole time. But day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe 2 weeks later, there might be someone else taking the stand, and we don't know how that's gonna go. Maybe like 3 days later, there's gonna be a new person taking the stand, and they just expose everything about Diddy. Like, we don't know fully everything Diddy's done yet. Like, there might have been men that he was having free calls with. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, Act was the line about what he said. Diddy should just came out and said that he was a flexible, bro. He should just said he was bisexual, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And what Act said, bro, all these rappers gotta come out who was around Diddy, like really, really hung around Diddy and was like really cool with him. They need to come out and like, yeah, bro. You gotta defend yourself, your integrity. You feel me? But your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And do you feel like Diddy's innocent, or do you feel like he's guilty? And we're talking about sex trafficking. Like, we're not talking about is he a good person or not. Do you think he's guilty of sex trafficking, Cassie? It's your boy Big Act News, and I'm out.